Resilience is not just about enduring hardship, it's about learning how to rise after every fall. Life, in its purest form, is unpredictable. It will hit you when you least expect it. Whether it's a loss, a setback, a failure, or even a betrayal, the challenges that come your way will test the very core of who you are. But resilience is what turns those challenges into opportunities for growth. You see, resilience isn't something you're born with, it's something you cultivate. It's the muscle you develop every time you pick yourself up after being knocked down. It's the courage to keep moving forward when everything around you says to quit. It's the ability to face adversity, stare it down, and say, "You will not define me." In many ways, resilience is the silent strength that gets you through the darkest days. It doesn't boast or demand attention. It just quietly works behind the scenes, showing up every time you feel like giving up. It's the knowledge that no matter how difficult the road, you've walked it before and you'll walk it again. But resilience is not a one-time thing. It's not something you can just turn on when life throws its hardest punches. You have to build it day by day, decision by decision, moment by moment. Every small victory, every moment of persistence adds a layer to your resilience. It's the times when no one is watching, when you're alone with your thoughts and your doubts, that you either build it or break it. In fact, resilience grows best when we face the hardest trials. It's like a muscle that strengthens through consistent use. Each challenge you face is an opportunity to become stronger, more capable, and more unshakable. And just like any muscle, resilience needs rest too, because sometimes you need to step back, reflect, and recharge before you can go forward again. But when you do, you'll come back with even more strength. Think about the people you admire, those who face the most adversity. What sets them apart is their ability to keep going even when everything seemed impossible. They didn't give up, and neither should you. Resilience doesn't mean you won't be hurt or that you won't struggle. It means that despite the hurt, despite the struggle, you choose to keep fighting for what matters. You refuse to let life's difficulties stop you from achieving your dreams. The real beauty of resilience is that it gives you perspective. It shows you that pain is temporary, that setbacks are part of the process, and that every challenge faced and conquered makes you a little bit more prepared for the next one. It's a reminder that your circumstances do not have the power to determine your future unless you let them. Your resilience, your capacity to keep moving forward, no matter the odds, is what truly defines your journey. There's a saying that goes, the odds are never in your favor, and while that might sound discouraging, it's also one of the most powerful truths you'll ever encounter on your journey. The reality is, life doesn't always unfold the way you hope. The deck is not always stacked in your favor, and sometimes it feels like the universe is throwing obstacle after obstacle in your path. But here's the truth, it's precisely these odds, these challenges, that hold the potential for your greatest victories. Overcoming the odds isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving despite what seems impossible. It's about finding a way forward when every road appears blocked. The most incredible transformations often happen in the hardest of times. I think about it, the people we admire, the ones who inspire us, didn't succeed because the world handed them an easy path. No, they succeeded because they chose to rise despite every reason to fall. The odds are something we often view as external forces, circumstances we can't control, limitations placed on us by society, by family, by past failures. But what we often forget is that the true battle isn't just with the world around us, it's with the world around us, it's with the world inside us. It's the voices of doubt, the self-imposed barriers, the moments when you question your worth, your ability, your potential. Overcoming the odds begins within. It starts when you look at the situation and refuse to accept defeat, even when everything tells you to give up. It starts when you say, I may not know how, but I will find a way. One of the greatest obstacles we face in overcoming the odds is not necessarily external, but our own fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. And the problem with fear is that it doesn't just paralyze us, it whispers lies to us, telling us that we can't win, that we don't deserve success, that we're too far behind. But I'm here to tell you, fear is nothing but a shadow, a product of the mind trying to protect you from what it perceives as danger. The reality is your greatest growth happens when you step directly into that fear, when you refuse to let it control you. In many ways, the odds are a test of your resolve. How badly do you want it? Are you willing to do what it takes, even when no one believes in you, even when the road seems impossible? You can either look at the odds and let them break you, or you can see them as a challenge, a test of your strength. It's when you face those odds head on, undeterred and unshaken, that you realize just how much power you really have. Overcoming the odds also requires patience. The road is rarely quick and the rewards rarely immediate. In fact, many of the people we admire didn't achieve success right away. They faced years of struggle, disappointment, and rejection. They failed, they stumbled, they were told no more times than they could count. But in each no, they found a reason to push harder. It wasn't the yes they were after, it was the growth, the lessons, and the belief in themselves that kept them going. But perhaps the most profound thing about overcoming the odds is this: it reveals who you really are. When everything is stacked against you, when the world is telling you to quit, there's only one thing that can keep you moving: your belief in your own ability to overcome. That belief isn't something that comes from external sources, it's something you cultivate within. When you refuse to quit, even when the odds are overwhelming, you begin to see just how powerful you are. And once you know that power, there's nothing in this world that can stop you. The odds are heavy, the weight is real, but every single time you push through, every time you make it to the other side, you gain something more valuable than anything material. You gain strength, character, and the unshakable belief that no matter what the world throws at you, you can handle it. You are more than the odds. You are the force that rises in the face of them. Self-worth and belief are the foundations of everything you will ever accomplish. They are the quiet, often invisible forces that drive every step of your journey, whether you're aware of them or not. And yet, for many of us, the battle with self-worth is one of the most difficult struggles we face. It's easy to look at others, compare ourselves, and feel like we fall short. We often find ourselves questioning whether we are enough, whether we have what it takes to reach our goals, whether we deserve success, love, or happiness. But I am here to tell you that your self-worth is not defined by anyone else's standards. It is not determined by how much money you make, the title you carry, or even the failures you've experienced. Your worth is inherent, and it is constant. Belief in yourself doesn't come from the external world, it comes from within. It's about recognizing that your value is not tied to your achievements or your past mistakes. It is intrinsic, unshakable, and unique to you. You are worthy of everything you dream of simply because you exist. It's so easy to be influenced by the voices of others, to absorb the opinions and judgments that are thrown your way. But the moment you allow others to define your worth, you lose sight of who you truly are. It's essential to remember that no one has the authority to determine your value except you. Too often we tie our self-worth to external approval, how others perceive us, whether we meet society's standards of success or how we fit into someone else's mold of what it means to be good enough. But the truth is, the only approval you need is your own. Belief in yourself means being able to look in the mirror and say, I am enough, just as I am. It means not waiting for permission to chase your dreams, to step into your full potential, or to take up space in the world. It's understanding that the very fact that you exist with all your flaws and imperfections makes you worthy of respect, love, and everything you desire. Your belief in yourself is the fuel that keeps you going when the world doubts you. It's what allows you to stand tall when people say you're not capable, not qualified, not smart enough. It's what helps you get back up after you've been knocked down by failure or criticism. Belief is the armor that protects you from the arrows of doubt, and it's what gives you the strength to keep moving forward even when the path isn't clear. But belief isn't always easy. Sometimes it feels like the world is trying to tear you down, to remind you of your shortcomings, to highlight every mistake you've made. And in those moments, it's easy to start questioning your worth, to start doubting if you're truly capable of what you dream. But I want you to remember this: self-worth is not the absence of doubt, it's the refusal to let that doubt control you. Even when you feel small, even when you feel unsure, your worth remains unchanged. And even when belief feels like a distant whisper, you can choose to hold on to it. Belief is not an overnight process. It takes time. It takes practice. And it often takes standing in front of a mirror and reminding yourself over and over that you are worthy, that you are worthy, that your dreams are valid, and that you have the power to turn them into reality. It's about silencing the inner critic that tells you you're not capable and replacing it with a voice that reminds you of your strength, your resilience, and your potential. But it's not just about believing you're worthy of success. It's about believing that you are worthy of love, of peace, of joy. So often we chase after external accomplishments thinking they will fill the void inside us, thinking that we will be worthy when we've achieved this or that. But real self-worth comes from within. It's about accepting yourself fully in all your humanity and loving yourself through every challenge and victory. True self-worth means embracing every part of you, your flaws, your imperfections, your mistakes, because they are part of what makes you uniquely beautiful. When you believe in yourself, you unlock the door to your potential. You stop seeing obstacles as reasons to quit and start seeing them as opportunities to grow. You stop seeking validation from the outside world because you've learned to give it to yourself. Belief isn't arrogance, it's quiet confidence. It's knowing deep down that you have what it takes, even if you don't have all the answers right now. It's trusting in your ability to figure it out, to keep going, and to learn along the way. At its core, belief is a choice. Every day you have the power to choose whether or not you will believe in yourself. You have the power to decide whether or not you will let self-doubt and fear hold you back from reaching your highest potential. You get to decide whether or not you will be the one to give yourself the chance you deserve, regardless of the opinions or judgments of others. And once you make that choice, once you decide that your self-worth is non-negotiable, you begin to unlock doors you didn't even know existed. The power of choice is one of the most significant forces in our lives. It's easy to feel as though circumstances, people, or even fate have control over where we end up. It's easy to believe that life happens to us, that we're subject to the whims of time and the decisions of others. But the truth is, choice is the one thing no one can ever take away from you. You are the architect of your life, and every decision you make shapes your future, whether it's a small, seemingly insignificant choice or a major life-altering one. From the moment you wake up in the morning, you are presented with a myriad of choices. What will you do with your time? What kind of energy will you bring into your day? How will you respond to the challenges that arise? Every choice you make is a thread in the tapestry of your life, and each thread has the potential to alter the direction you take. The beauty of this power is that it doesn't matter where you come from or where you've been. What matters is where you choose to go. In life, we are constantly presented with forks in the road moments where we must choose a path. Some of these decisions feel easy while others feel overwhelming. Should you take that job offer? Should you leave that relationship? Should you take the risk and pursue your passion or stay in your comfort zone? And yet, despite the weight of these decisions, the power lies in your ability to choose. You may not be able to control everything that happens to you, but you always have the power to decide how you will respond. What makes choice so powerful is that it's rooted in freedom. The freedom to make mistakes, to learn, and to grow. We often think of freedom as the ability to do whatever we want, but true freedom lies in the power to choose how we react in any given moment. It's the ability to decide, I may not be able to control the circumstances, but I can control my mindset, my actions, and my attitude. Every single day, you have the chance to choose the kind of person you will be, the direction you will take, and how you will handle the struggles that come your way. Choices define us. It's not the big moments, the life-altering events that shape us the most. It's the small decisions we make along the way. The choice to get back up after a setback, to keep going when we feel like giving up, to be kind when we feel hurt. Every choice you make is an opportunity to build the person you want to become. Even the choices you regret, even the ones that don't work out, are part of the process. They teach you something, they guide you, and they prepare you for the next decision. One of the most powerful choices you will ever make is the choice to believe in yourself. Every day you are faced with the decision to either trust in your abilities or doubt them. You can choose to hold on to fear and let it paralyze you, or you can choose to take action despite it. You can choose to see the obstacles in your life as barriers, or you can choose to see them as stepping stones. When you realize that every choice you make is an opportunity to shape your destiny, you begin to understand the true power you hold. The belief in your own ability to choose is the foundation upon which everything else is built. In any situation, the power of choice lies in perspective. We can choose how we view our circumstances, whether we see them as a chance for growth or as a reason to quit. We can choose to see failure as the end of the road or as a lesson in what not to do next time. Our perspective on life is entirely within our control, and that control gives us the power to change our future. If you don't like where you are, remember you always have the power to choose where you go next. The path you are on may not be the one you envisioned, but the beauty of choice is that you can always change direction. You don't have to wait for permission for someone else to give you the green light. You have the ability to choose when and how you move forward. Choice is also about responsibility. When you choose, you take ownership of the consequences. The weight of choice is that it doesn't come without its results, both good and bad. But here's the thing, no matter what those results are, you still hold the power to learn from them. Even in failure, you have a choice. You can choose to see it as a setback or as a stepping stone. You can choose to let it defeat you, or you can choose to rise, learn, and move forward. That responsibility is not a burden, it's a privilege. It's the privilege to shape your destiny, to make the changes you need in order to create the life you desire. There will always be moments when the path seems unclear, when the choices seem overwhelming. But the power of choice is that no matter how difficult it gets, you are never powerless. Even in the darkest times, you have the ability to decide how you will respond. Will you allow your circumstances to control you, or will you take control of your circumstances? The power of choice is about empowerment, about stepping into the driver's seat of your own life and taking the wheel when it feels like everything is out of control. The beauty of choice is that it's always available to you. The decisions you make today will determine the person you become tomorrow. And even when you make the wrong choice, there is always another moment to choose again. Life is an ongoing series of choices, and you have the power to keep making them, each one leading you closer to the life you want to live. One of the most insidious lies we tell ourselves is that there's a perfect time to begin. We say, I'll start when I'm ready, or I'll wait until the circumstances are just right, or once everything aligns, then I'll make my move. But here's the truth, the perfect time never comes. The world will never present you with a perfect, flawless moment to take action. There will always be uncertainties, risks, and things you can't control. And if you wait for everything to be in place, you'll find yourself waiting forever. Perfection is an illusion. The idea that we need the perfect moment is nothing more than a delay tactic, a way of putting off what we know we need to do because we're scared of failure, scared of making mistakes, or scared of stepping out of our comfort zone. We convince ourselves that we'll be ready soon, but in reality, we'll never be as ready as we think we should be. And as the days pass, we lose time, we lose opportunities, and we lose the courage to act. In truth, the best time to start is always now. Not tomorrow, not next month, not when you feel more qualified or more confident. The best time to start is when you feel the fear, the doubt, and the uncertainty, but choose to act anyway. The perfect time is a myth designed to keep you stuck in a cycle of procrastination, telling you that you have time to prepare, time to think, time to wait. But time does not wait for you. It moves forward whether you're ready or not. The longer you wait, the more chances slip through your fingers. And think about all the opportunities you've missed because you kept waiting for a better moment, a more comfortable time, or a clearer path. Each of those moments is gone now. But here's the empowering truth: you can still choose to act now. The most successful people, the ones who accomplish extraordinary things, are not the ones who waited for the perfect moment. They are the ones who took action despite the imperfections, the ones who embraced uncertainty and found ways to work with it, not against it. Waiting for the perfect time is a form of self-doubt. It's telling yourself that you're not capable right now, that you need to be more, do more, or know more before you can begin. But think about how many things you've learned in the process of doing, not waiting. Every step you take towards your goal teaches you something. Every mistake you make sharpens your skills, builds your resilience, and gives you more clarity on what you really want. If you wait for perfection, you rob yourself of the opportunity to grow. Growth happens in the doing, not in the waiting. It's also important to realize that waiting for the right time often comes from a place of fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not measuring up. And these fears are real, but they are also a natural part of every journey. There's no such thing as success without risk, and there's no growth without discomfort. The right time to start is the moment you feel the fear and choose to act anyway, because that's when you learn, when you evolve, and when you move forward. Every successful person has a story of starting with what they had, when they had it. Whether it's a small step, a leap of faith, or a giant risk, they didn't wait for everything to be perfectly aligned. They just went for it. And yes, they faced challenges, they encountered setbacks, they made mistakes, but in each of those experiences, they gained the momentum to push forward. The key to success is not waiting for the right time, but making the right time by taking action. You might feel like you're not prepared. You might feel like you need more time, more resources, more experience. But here's the thing: you already have everything you need to begin. You have your mind, your determination, your passion, and your willingness to learn. Don't wait for the conditions to be perfect. Create the conditions. Build the momentum, one step at a time. The journey begins the moment you decide to take the first step. In every area of life, there's always something you can do today to move forward. Even if it's small, even if it's imperfect, taking that first step is what creates the momentum that will carry you to the next. It's about building the habit of action. Each time you make the choice to move forward, you are teaching yourself that you don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You can create your own opportunities, carve out your own path, and learn as you go. Life is a series of moments, and each one is an opportunity to take action. If you're waiting for the perfect time to begin, you're waiting for something that doesn't exist. Instead, choose to make today the day you start. Whatever it is you've been putting off, whatever dream you've been holding on to, now is the moment to take action. Don't wait for everything to align. Start with what you have, where you are, and trust that the rest will unfold as you move forward. Faith is one of the most powerful forces in the human experience. It is the quiet yet undeniable strength that propels us forward when we cannot see the way ahead. It's not about blind belief in an outcome, but about trusting that even when the path is unclear, we will be guided to where we need to be. Faith is the unseen force that anchors us during life's storms, that whispers in our hearts when doubt shouts in our minds, and that allows us to keep moving forward, even when everything around us suggests that we should turn back. Faith, in its purest form, is not simply a religious concept or a set of beliefs. It's a deep conviction in the unknown, the intangible, the unseen. It is the belief that there is more to life than what we can perceive with our senses, and that even in our darkest moments, there is a greater purpose at work. Faith is what allows us to step into the unknown with confidence, to take risks, and to trust that everything will unfold as it's meant to, even when we can't understand how. But faith is not passive. It's not a feeling that just falls into your lap when things are going well. Faith is an active choice, a decision you make every day to believe in something greater than yourself. It's a choice to trust that no matter what happens, there is meaning in your life and purpose in your struggles. It's the decision to keep moving forward, even when you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Faith is about believing in what you cannot yet see and trusting that it will come to pass in due time.